What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Cryptid Files. We're your hosts, Anthony and Charlie, and we are here to talk to you about cryptids.
The spooky ones.
The spookiest ones.
And sometimes the not so spooky ones.
Yeah, I like Lizard Man.
Yeah. That's so spooky.
It was a fucking bean farmer.
Yeah, bean farmers are spooky, dude. Bean farmers.
Today we're talking to you guys about the Mahaha. So this one comes to us from the North American Arctic. You know, in the top regions of Canada. Like a little bit of Greenland, some of Russia, but mostly the top of Canada. It's an Inuit legend.
Yeah, it's like the Wendigo country.
Kind of, yeah, but even higher up.
Yeah.
So the Mahaha is described as a demonic creature. It's skinny but muscular, which sounds terrifying. With frost-bitten blue skin. It has white eyes that glow through its dark, nasty hair. And it's either naked or wearing just a loincloth.
Yeah.
And it's always smiling like this nasty grin. And basically the Mahaha is this Inuit legend that is said to tickle its victims to death with its long fingernails.
Yes.
And they blame, anytime they find a corpse with a smile on its face, they say it was killed by the Mahaha.
The Mahaha.
Ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Pretty wild, man.
That's the Mahaha.
That is the Mahaha. That is the go-to description of it. So a couple things about this. It's apparently really stupid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, dumber than a Rougarou.
Yeah. And you know how the Rougarous got the 13 pennies trick?
Yes.
The Mahaha has a thing for water. It loves water.
Okay.
So all you have to do is convince it to drink water, and then it will just start focusing on the water and drinking the water, and you can push it into the river.
Okay. And then you get away?
Then you get away. That is the way to escape the Mahaha, is outsmarting it. And that is the most told story about how to outsmart the Mahaha.
Right.
Now, like the Wendigo, this is one of those legends that was almost used as a cautionary tale.
Right.
It's supposed to be something that attacks people right outside of communities.
Okay.
So if you stray away from the community, the Mahaha might catch you.
Okay.
And that's basically why it was passed down so much.
Right. This is another one of those don't leave the safe space.
Yeah, it's
kind of legends. It's like just don't leave the village.
Yeah, don't leave the village. That is its purpose.
Okay. Okay.
So, which is pretty cool. I mean, I like when these things have purposes. And the other thing, so all the victims are said to have a smile on their face. Now, one of the possible explanations for this is when people freeze to death.
Yes.
Their facial muscles tend to tense up.
Right.
And leave a giant smile.
Right, because you've pulled in all your muscles because they're trying to grab all the heat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when they find people that have froze to death, they normally find them with a smile on their face anyways.
Okay. So that's the explanation of why.
That is like the explanation of why maybe the Mahaha is known to
tickle you to death. Oh my God, imagine getting tickled to death.
That seems like an absolute terrible fucking way to go.
Torture.
Yeah, because when you were being tickled as a kid, it's funny, ha, ha, and then you get violent.
And then stop! I don't want this anymore!
Stop! I don't want this anymore! Yeah, I could imagine. It seems like it's... I was watching... Remember that show, 1,000 Ways to Die?
Yes.
There was an episode where somebody laughed to death, but they had to laugh for 3 days straight. They couldn't stop laughing. They eventually had a heart attack and died. So I wonder if it's something like that.
What the hell is funny enough to make you laugh for 3 days straight?
I don't know, but apparently it's possible to laugh to death, but it definitely does take a long time.
Yikes. Okay, yikes.
So, I don't know if the Mahaha takes 3 days to tickle you to death. But it's also said it tickles you to death, but it also has the ability to freeze you, in a sense. Yeah, so it's touch. Has the ability to freeze you to death.
So it tickles and freezes at the
it's
same time.
Tickling
it's like
you
you're
and freezing
just a
you.
frozen, dead,
it's
happy
also
corpse.
Tickling you with really nasty long fingernails.
Yeah.
Claws.
Yeah.
So it just doesn't seem like a good time.
No, I mean, no, you're dying. No matter what, it's not a good time.
Yeah.
Damn. All right. Yeah, no thank you. No thank you at all.
Yeah. Please try again. No Mahaha for me.
No, I don't like the Mahaha.
I don't want to be Mahaha.
Yeah, so unfortunately, it is. Unfortunately with this, there's really not a lot to it. It's just kind of a legend that's just there. It's one of those Inuit, like you said. It's a story to keep people from leaving the village. So there's not a lot of sightings or stories about it other than just the folklore that was passed down.
Well, you know the problem with this one too is it didn't get pop culture famous like the Wendigo.
Right.
So that's not a problem.
It honestly helps lend to the legend.
Yeah, it's just the Wendigo. We have all these distorted sightings and viewings and stories and all this about like what it actually, like what it became. And the Mahaha just kind of existed, and
Right.
it was still used as like a local legend, but
Right.
it was never. They didn't make video games or movies about it, so not many people went out of their way and talked about it and be like, "This is what it does. This is how you do this. This is what you do to keep it away or whatnot." Basically, just a tickling.
Frost demon.
It's a white evil tickle me Elmo.
No, well, Tickle Me Elmo, you tickled that one to death.
Yeah, but yeah, I can tickle you too.
This is like the spirit of Tickle Me Elmo getting this revenge on everybody. God damn it! No,
it's a creepy uncle.
How would you fight the Mahaha?
Okay, so I pretty much already talked about the battle plan to fight this thing. Be near water.
Right.
Go to water. Talk about how delicious the water is.
Right. This water's so
Push
good.
this thing in. That is the only like
Drink water.
Yeah, that's the only like proven. Not, I don't even want to say proven, but
The only known.
the only known way to fight off this thing. But it's also just said to be really dumb.
Okay.
So any way you can really, I think, manipulate it into drinking water, or telling it it's water. There's water someplace nearby. It just focuses 100% on the water. If you do encounter Mahaha, hopefully you're near a river.
Right.
And you can just be like, "Oh, look at this delicious water," and then push his scrawny ass in.
Surprise! Because of the water thing, I think I could fight the Mahaha too. If it wasn't for the stupidity in the water, I don't know, man. I don't want to get tickled to
It's
death.
like the Ruger, man. You just need 13 things.
You only need a little bit of water.
Yeah, you only need a little bit of. Well, you still want to be able to push it into something.
Okay, you need enough. Well, I mean, like, what if you had a bucket?
Push it into the bucket?
Yeah, I was saying, it's like head
You-
caught in
oh,
the bucket.
Yeah, you could.
Rip.
Probably. They're really scrawny.
Yeah, you probably fit the whole thing in the bucket.
So as
if
long
you got
as
a big
you
enough
can make it
bucket.
so it can't start tickling you, you probably start running away. All you have to do is get back to civilization, too, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Because they really only are on the outskirts of everything. So, would it be too hard to fight the Mahaha?
Probably not.
It's just kind of Mahaha.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there's really not much to go off on this one, so I think it's time to give it a rating.
Yeah, dude. Let's go ahead and calculate the Mahaha.
All right. So, what are you thinking, Charlie? How realistic do you think this thing is?
How realistic do I think this thing is? Dude, it's hard. It's a possibility because it's one of those like legend creatures. It hasn't been very much invaded into pop culture, and it's kind of like a passed down story. We don't have very many sightings of it, but that's also because it's apparently really good at what it does and makes people die and freeze to death.
Yeah. Jeez.
So yeah, dude, let's give it a solid 2.5. I can't really sway too much.
2.5? Okay. Well, for me, considering we have an actual scientific explanation about why people die with a smile on their face,
Yeah.
and that is when you freeze to death, your muscles contract.
Yeah.
Kind of debunks the whole legend of the Mahaha.
It's
that
true.
This thing exists
It's true.
to tickle you to death in the snow.
Yeah.
So,
And it's also been used as a cautionary tale.
so I don't want to go out there and say this thing has definitely not existed because I don't want the Inuit nation to come after me. But I also don't think they have internet, so I don't think they're gonna be that mad.
I'm pretty sure they have internet, dude.
So I'm gonna give it half a point. I'm just gonna say 0.5.
0.5. All right.
Yeah, I can't in good conscience give it too high of a realism score because I just don't. I
Yeah.
don't think it's up there.
All right.
So now, how cool is this thing?
How cool is it? It's very interesting. It's very creative. I like cryptids that kill and attack people. I think that's cool.
Okay.
One that tickles you to death.
Yeah.
That's wild, man. Is tickling to death cool? I think that's pretty cool. I don't think it's as cool as somebody that sucks your brains out through a straw,
No.
but I still think it's pretty cool. It's not like incredibly lame.
No.
So let's give it a 3.
A 3? Okay.
Yeah.
So for me, this is just kind of a wannabe Wendigo in terms of how it looks.
Yeah.
It's a frostbitten, skinny, buff guy with claws.
Yeah.
And nasty hair.
But behaviorally,
it's fucking weird.
Yeah.
Like,
it's a weird dude.
of all the ways you've got claws, and of all the ways you decide to use them, it's to tickle people.
Okay, imagine this. Homeless guy comes up to you, right? Really dirty hands. Would you rather him punch you or caress you?
I'd rather him punch me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now we're alright. So
because I don't want him to put his fingers on my face.
Really long, dirty fingernails. Would you rather him try to slash at you or tickle you?
Honestly, they're both just as bad.
Yeah, man.
I'm either gonna get a really nasty infected cut or be really uncomfortable.
Yeah. I feel like I'd rather.
For my health, I'd rather be tickled, but like mentally, I'm gonna run back to the village and be like, I just got tickled by a monster, dude.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you just gotta take a shower after that. Yeah. But that doesn't necessarily make it cool.
I don't know. It's kind of cool, man.
So I gotta disagree with you. I'm gonna give it a 2.
That's okay.
It's not cool.
That's okay.
All right, how unique is this thing, though?
Extremely unique.
This is
except for the fact of it's got similar origins to the Wendigo. We know that, but it's not the same creature. It's very different. It's, you know, even physically descriptive. The Wendigo is like this wild, animal-like spiritual creature that attacks people in like points of desperation.
Eats them, turns them into cannibals.
Yeah, this is somebody that tickles people to death outside the village. That's original, man. And it's actual human-like in a sense.
Okay.
It's like humanoid. So, I'll give it a 4, dude.
4?
Yeah, that's original, man.
Okay. So for me,
just its actions alone.
This is like Wendigo's creepy uncle. It's a touchy Wendigo is what it is. It's a touchy Wendigo. It's a touchy go. That's what we're going to rename it. It's no longer the Mahaha. It's a touchy go. But it is. It's what it is. It's a touchy Wendigo. It's a skinny, frostbitten, scary guy. Okay, he doesn't have the weird no cheeks and lips thing going on. He's got long hair and glowing white eyes. But it's a frostbitten, skinny, buff guy out in the middle of the tundra.
Yeah.
Trying to kill you in one way or another, and in this way it happens to be molestation. Like,
no, hold on. Hold on a second. He's not a molester.
Molesting by definition is unwanted contact. It doesn't have to be sexual.
Well, you made it sound sexual.
Some people get off on tickling.
Okay, but that doesn't mean that it's sexual.
Sexual for them.
Okay.
Either way, it's unique in a weird way in some aspects.
Yeah.
And I think that creates like a perfect split on its uniqueness. So I'm going to have to give it a straight down no. Let's give it a 2.5. Let's break out the math duck and the mouth calculator.
All right, perfect. All right. We got our numbers here?
We do.
All right. So I got a... You got the math duck ready?
Yeah, the math duck ready.
All right.
You got the math duck ready?
I got the math duck ready.
Let's throw up the math duck. All right, here we go.
Pew! Math duck. 2.5 plus 0.5 plus 3 plus 2 plus 4 plus 2.5 equals 14.5.
Which
is like a
almost 50%.
Yeah,
that's an okay rating. It's an average rating.
Yeah, it's not like a terrible rating. It's not great.
No.
Nothing to brag about, but it is. It's on the list.
It's on the list.
It's on the list. Congratulations, you're on the list.
So what are your closing thoughts on Mahaha?
Dude, I like the Mahaha.
Yeah, do you?
He's a wild creature, man.
We'll catch you guys in the next one.
Bye.